Hi, my name is Sandra from Crafts of Ireland, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make these little insects using some yarn pom-poms. So I have made a bumblebee and I've made a ladybird, and we're going to go through the materials first that you will need to actually make these. The first thing that you will need to make the templates for the pom-poms is some light card. I have a sheet of light cardboard. You could also use an old cereal box to do that. We need something to draw circles to make the pom-poms. I've picked a jam jar lid and I've picked a lid of a bottle. We can also make smaller ones for the head as well, because this one is about 7 centimeters in diameter, and if you have something that's about 5 centimeters in diameter as well, to make smaller pom-poms. We're going to use a scissors, some glue. To make the eyes and the spots for the ladybird, you can either use some white cardboard and a black marker to colour that, or if you have some felt fabric you can use that as well. I have a pencil to draw around the circles, and I have some wool needles. These are a blunt needle with a very large eye, so if you have one of them it'll make the pom-pom making easier. We have coloured yarn. For the ladybird I use black and red, and I have some yellow and black for the bumblebee. But if you don't have those colours, you can use other colours and make some nice bright insects too. So it doesn't have to be the exact colours of the insect. So the first thing that we do to start is we're going to take our jam jar lid and we're going to go right round it. In the centre of that, I'm going to make a smaller circle using the small lid, and we'll do that twice, because for every pom-pom you need 2 templates, and these look like donuts. So that's them. So we have 2 templates drawn. Take our scissors and we will cut around them. Cut the piece of cardboard out. The easiest way to get the centre out is to fold it in half and then cut the centre out. And that's one of our templates made, and for each pom-pom we need 2. So I have some that I cut earlier, so I'm going to use one of them. So that's the first thing that you do, is make a set of them. And for the smaller pom-poms for their head, we can make a smaller set. So you're just going to do the same thing again with a smaller diameter and a smaller hole in the centre. Then we take some yarn. So we'll take one of our needles. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to make this black. So I'll take some black yarn. And cut it. And to make it a little bit quicker, I'm going to fold it in half and then thread my needle so that I have 4 strands. So you're just going to join up your ends nice and even. Thread your sharp needle. Even up the ends if you can. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim it. We take our 2 templates, and we'll take the rest of our card out of the way. Take our 2 templates. The easiest way to start is put the needle in between the 2 pieces of cardboard, which will hold the yarn together. And then you start to wrap the yarn around the cardboard. And you continue to do that until you've run out of yarn on your needle. And then you cut off, thread, and start a new piece. So we've run out there. So at that stage you can thread and start a new piece. And if you're doing this, you can obviously use longer than what I used. And then you will thread another piece and continue to do that. So if you're making the stripy pom-pom that I used for the bumblebee, you're going to do that in layers. So I have on this one, I have 1 layer of black wool. On top of that, I'm putting my layer of yellow wool. And each time I complete a layer, I'll change to the other colour. Excuse me. So that's how you make a stripy one, till it's full. And this is our red one. And you can see that I've kept filling this one till the centre is almost full. So this pom-pom is practically finished. So I'm just going to finish this one off. So we'll run the last for wool through. And we cut that. So we'll leave that. Needle one side. So this is our circle of cardboard completely filled with our yarn. So then to finish it, we take a piece of yarn that's the same colour. We get our scissors and very carefully in the middle we cut some of the yarn till we get back down to the cardboard. Then we put the the scissors. We put the scissors in between the two layers of cardboard. I'm sure you can see that. And we use that as a guide to cut right around the pom-pom. So I have split the two layers of cardboard and put my scissors in there. And using that as a guide, I'm going to carefully cut right around the centre of the pom-pom. So that's what I've done. I've used the centre as a guide and I've cut around, and you can see the yarn where I started. So I pull them very slightly apart, put my red string that I'm after cutting in between them, and carefully pull it tight without breaking it to tie a good firm knot. And that's that. And the next thing that you do is you can carefully peel off your cardboard if you're able. Excuse me. If it won't peel, you can actually tear it and remove it. And that's our pom-pom made. So now you can take your scissors and you can trim any long tails that are on it. So you can do this at home. You can take a little bit more time and trim it back nice and neatly. So that's our red pom-pom finished. And we've also made a slightly smaller black one. So it's filled again fully. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to make a little cut right in the centre of the wool so that I can find where the cardboard is. Stick my scissors in between the two layers of cardboard and cut my pom-pom right around the centre. Because this one is black, I'm going to take a little piece of black yarn and I'm going to use that to tie this one. So again, the yarn goes in between the two layers of cardboard, and again tie tightly, but be careful not to break the yarn. And that's our black one. And again, we can remove our cardboard. Sometimes if the cardboard is strong enough, you'll actually be able to peel it off and reuse it. And they're the small circles that we used. And that's that. So we can use them again to make another one. And this one is a little bit shaggy. Take our scissors and trim off all the little tails and ends. Just be careful of your fingers when you're doing this. And that's it, that looks much better. Now we're going to get rid of all those little bits of yarn we're after cutting, and we're going to join our two pom-poms together. So the black one is the head and the bigger red one is the body. So you can take the two of them and very carefully tie them with a knot together. You want to make sure that it's good and tight and good and secure. And that's the ladybird's head is now connected to the body. It might be safer just to put a second knot on that before we cut the threads. And we can cut those off. Now, so that's our ladybird, and our common Irish red ladybird. There are yellow ladybirds in Ireland too, but our common Irish red ladybird has got 7 spots. So we have some of our spots here that I've cut out already from some felt. So if you're using felt fabric, just take your scissors and carefully cut some little circles from it. And once you have them cut out, you can even them up. They don't have to be perfectly round. So that would be another one. So our 7 spots are normally 3 to the front with 2 behind them and 2 further out at the back. So taking our craft glue and put a dot of glue on each spot. So the first one goes on the middle and the back. The next one is slightly further back on each side. That's our first 3. 2 more behind that. And you can look at a picture of a ladybird online if you can find one or in some of your books and see exactly where their spots are. Oops, I'm losing spots. And we have 2 more at the back. And that's our spot stuck on. So there's enough glue on them that the felt will stick to the yarn. So they're quite good there. So the next thing you need is a little set of eyes. So we can do that 2 ways. We can draw a nice eye on our cardboard, and we can colour in the black centre. Or we could cut a little piece of white felt and stick a dot of black felt on it either, so whichever is easier. And we cut around those. And that's our 2 little insect eyes. Again, we'll take our glue and we'll put a tiny dot of glue on the back of them. And we can put them in place. And I see a big long piece of yarn at the front. We can tidy up any bits that we don't need. And that's our little ladybird. And if you want as well to make it sit better, you can actually trim back the yarn underneath and make it flat on the bottom. Now he's going to sit better. So that's our ladybird finished. So next we've done the exact same thing with our bumblebee. We made the stripes by doing the layers when we're making the pom-pom. We've tied on a head. This one has the felt eyes, so I've just cut, for these ones, I cut a circle of some white felt and a little circle of black felt. I'll make this circle a bit smaller. There's 2 little discs of felt. Take some glue and put some on the black fabric. And carefully stick it to the white. And that's how you'd make the eye if you're going to use some felt fabric, or if you have some googly eyes you can use them either. And the last thing that our bumblebee needs is it needs some wings. So I've made the wings out of really light plastic, and for that I used an old fruit container. It's got very, very light plastic in it. So if you want to, you can first take a pen and take a piece of plastic out of the side, it'll be easier. Now, and if you take a pen, this one I think is a permanent one, you can just draw the shape of a wing on your plastic, and take your scissors and carefully cut around that. And because this is so light, it's very easy to cut. That's our wing. Now, like we said, we have some that we made earlier, so we'll trim them roughly the same size. Now, if you want to make some designs, you can do that with a permanent marker on the plastic. Just take your black marker and you just draw a light line down the centre and draw some little marks like that to make the wing. Then again, we'll take our glue. We'll put some glue on the tip of the wing, and we'll take his yarn and we're going to open it up and push in our little wing. And this is the other one, so it may have time to dry. So if you're using a marker, a permanent marker on plastic, you want to allow it time to dry. Again, take some glue, put it on the tip of the wing, and roughly where the wing should sit, you can take the yarn in your pom-pom, open it out and pop in your wing and give it a squeeze. And that is our little bumblebee. So thank you everybody for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it and that you enjoy making your pom-pom insects. From Sandra and Crafts of Ireland, thank you.